Hello, my name is Jamie Johnson. I would like to present an improvement project to nursing practice involving Hispanic women and breastfeeding outcomes. I work in labor and delivery, and I have noticed a cultural pattern among Hispanic mothers not willing to initiate breastfeeding or who are reluctant to exclusively breastfeed their newborns. Although it is a known cultural preference, I wanted to figure out a way to break through this cultural barrier to improve breastfeeding outcomes. After evaluating the literature, I found one article in particular that explained how Hispanic women respond to breastfeeding peer counselors. These peer counselors were bilingual Hispanic women from within the Hispanic community who had successfully breastfed their own children for at least 6 months. To become a counselor, they underwent a 30-day course on breastfeeding and passed a written exam of 85% or better. Success of this peer counseling program demonstrates the importance of breastfeeding support from within the Hispanic community. Reflecting upon this program, I wondered if providing bilingual Hispanic lactation consultants would be beneficial to the Hispanic patients I serve in labor and delivery. Projected success from this project would depend on having a large Hispanic population in labor and delivery. Availability of bilingual Hispanic lactation consultants would impose a threat to the validity of this study. Said lactation consultants would have to be available 7 days a week. If a new lactation consultant would have to be hired to complete the study, it would pose a financial burden on the hospital. The right to refuse poses an additional threat to the study. This is where I see the largest obstacle in completing this study. A lot of times, patients have their minds made up before they even step foot in the hospital on how they would like to feed their babies. We can encourage and support, but we cannot force them to breastfeed. Consultant availability would be evaluated. Patients opting in and out of the study would be reviewed, and feedback from nursing staff, all lactation consultants, and Hispanic patient questionnaires would be analyzed. Medical records would be reviewed on whether or not exclusive breastfeeding was accomplished as a result from bilingual Hispanic lactation consultant assistance. These numbers would be compared to all other Hispanic patients opting out of the study. Meetings would be held prior to the study's go live with the nursing staff and lactation consultants within the hospital's labor and delivery department to explain the study. Upon completion of the study, follow-up meetings would be held evaluating the perceived effectiveness of the proposal. A questionnaire will be provided at the follow-up meetings asking if the hospital should continue providing this intervention to Hispanic patients. A discharge questionnaire would be provided to all Hispanic patients asking if they were offered a bilingual Hispanic lactation consultant during their hospital stay. If they did they opt in or out of the study? If they opted out, space would be provided to explain why. If they opted into the study, would they recommend we continue offering this support to other Hispanic women during their hospital stay in labor and delivery? An additional space would be provided for additional comments or concerns. A patient questionnaire would be provided in both Spanish and English. If needed, an interpreter would be available to assist them in completing this questionnaire. The findings of this study will be reviewed within labor and delivery. If deemed successful and worthy of making a practice change, implementation would be requested throughout the organization of local hospitals. Continued evaluation would be made to determine if this is a successful practice change. I anticipate that this practice change will only be successful in hospitals with a large Hispanic population. The initial results would be formatted for publication and submitted to a nursing or lactation journal. Requests will be made to state and national nursing and lactation conferences to share the findings to help facilitate this practice change on a national level. Information on how this practice change is implemented will also be shared during hospital childbirth classes and OBGYN in-services to encourage word of mouth throughout the community. Promoting and supporting exclusive breastfeeding is a passion of mine. I appreciate your time and I hope you enjoyed this evidence-based practice presentation.